Yeah, you see, I basically spent most of my creative time doing voices only and never having to worry about video. Believe it or not, that world exists. It's hard to imagine a world that exists in our media that doesn't really use video because it really doesn't exist. But the point is, I developed a lot of creative styles that were audio only. I had no concern for video. Now, as I'm trying to get into both, I'm really learning a lot about video editing. But until I get up to speed with that, I don't want to stop producing. And so I still work on ways to make audio really different. And so what I do, like right now, you're watching me produce something, and I have a technical issue as my uh, music source is coming and it has a problem. It cuts out. There's a little connection problem. So that's a risk you take. And if you're using a background music source that's not dependable, it makes you nervous, and that just happened there. You can always edit it out, but editing is a pain in the ass. And so I always came from an environment where you didn't really do need to edit to make it presentable. You edited to make it, to make it better, to vastly improve it, but not to. You don't want mistakes. Your editing time should be used to make evaluations and like, is this really worthy? Is this not? Instead of, oh, I got to get these like that. I got to get these out. And time, if you get, you only don't want to spend so much time editing. So if you, bottom line, if you're editing 6 mistakes, you're not going to have the patience to go and critique the thing like you should and spend your editing time improving the video instead of just taking the mistakes out. So yeah, you want to do clean cuts, but you don't want to. I mean, that's just everybody has their own style. I try to take advantage of, since audio presents a lot of opportunities, and if you got a tape recorder handy, you'd be surprised what you can find. But anyway, the whole purpose of this is I wanted to demonstrate something I learned by accident. Is I have two characters that I do mostly in English, and I got a Southern guy, and there's middle range variations. I could do any, but if I got to read along something, I'd rather just do the English guy because I can read it all night long, and I got this Southern Low Country broil character that I can do with very little effort. It's easy, it's fun, and people tell me they like him. So I don't like the character as much. I just do it because it's kind of fun, and I'll sort of let you understand what we go through here. Here's the English one, and you go into John Cleese style rants, and just in texting my brother, we always do that. Is that I can use this text almost like a script. So we were just joking. He had made some deviled eggs, and since his doctor makes him eat better, he's got to cut the salt out. So a deviled egg in the South is probably going to be off your limits if you're a sodium conscious person. On the other hand, eating 6 eggs is good. And so he's trying to eat the 6 eggs without putting the salt. So he's come up with creative ways to eat the day. He told me how to boil them, cut them in half, and how to dress them real quick. And you just eat the egg half. Makes a lot of sense. It's a natural hors d'oeuvre. But the Southern people do deviled eggs, where they go through this laborious process of chopping up onions, bell peppers. I mean, way too many things that's going to fit into an egg. And they get a pile of that, they put that with the egg yolk and mayonnaise, and they get a glop of stuff, and they dump that into the halved egg white. That's your tray, and it's called a deviled egg. I guess you know what they are. You ever made them, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so I went on a rant about, he was telling me how easy that was, and I agree. So he takes 3 eggs, cuts them in half, and he's got it basically his breakfast or dinner, or he's got what he wants to eat. A snack, because he puts, fancy stage of strips, a little mayonnaise, just rolls it across the sliced boiled egg. Instead of taking the center out and mixing it with mission and chopping all this stuff. That's what a deviled egg is. So he was getting the benefit by putting a quality little condiments on the eggs. All right, but anyway, so he was telling me how he did that. And so I typed him a long answer, and I realized what I just typed in the comment would have been a good script. It would have been a good script, actually. And so I'm going to kind of, this is all like what I call raw stuff. I just do it for fun, and sometimes you keep it. It kind of works. But the voice of the English, I was just going to give you 2 quick examples what the English guy sounds like and what the Southern guy, the low country broil, sounds like. And I realized that John Cleese, if you're familiar with him, is British, and he goes off on this, thesaurus kind of humor. Just excessive English, laborious words, and he uses alliteration. He's basically an English rapper. But he's, and I can sort of do him, but he's hard. He'll wear you out because, and also, it's really kind of tiresome after a while. But I wrote him back and I says, good idea on the eggs, kind of makes an hors d'oeuvre. The only drawback is, and I was writing it in a Southern, thinking of low country broil, so I would be saying to him, great idea on the eggs, it kind of makes an hors d'oeuvre there. But the only drawback with your recipe is you don't get to scoop out the yellow mushy yolk, a substance of 45 variant shades of green and 20 shades of yellow, and positively no shades of any other color. If you have any more pigments, just toss the egg and start over. After breaking or mutilating or violating with great hubris at least 3 of your virgin bland boats of protein, or your tasteless tofu trays from the chicken, the egg whites, of course, plus you'll never have the pleasure of eating the 6 tasteless and odd-feeling squishy or clammy egg whites, and then have to eat the 3 tablespoons of leftovers of egg yolk fixins, and the 3 deviled eggs that you crumble from the weight of a pound of accessories chopped and so forth and skittled into pieces and mixed with the yolk. And so by the 46-minute mark from the start to the finish to make your deviled eggs, you've essentially eaten half a dozen deviled eggs, and you have 6 on the platter and a hell of a mess to clean up. And so obviously his method is better because he only has to use 3 eggs to get essentially 6 deviled eggs. And then I would respond to him, and we have a little joke like, why, I shall have none of it. Good day. And that's the John Cleese accent. I wrote this out thinking John Cleese, and I realized that the John Cleese dialogue with the Southern Beauregard low country delivery actually works because it gives the Southern delivery guy a much better vocabulary, and he doesn't have to wear his throat out saying them in that rapid fire order because he's got that just that easy, it's a great idea there. Everything just ends in an AH unless you just don't want it to. He's pretty much in charge of how he finishes his words, depending on what position his tongue wants to waggle in. But he does it in a dignified manner, and of course is a respectful person. All right, that's all I got to say. I just wanted to show you how you can create maybe some content when you're just horsing around.